Hello and welcome to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events. And you know, I've been talking about on social media, on Twitter, and I think a little bit on Facebook about how the very end of this month, the last week of this month, would mark a turn to colder weather, and this January thaw would come to an end. Although it's not much of a thaw when it's cloudy and foggy and it's 52 degrees. I mean, it's a little bit above average or close to average. But that's, I'm recording this, by the way, Thursday, January 19th at 12:37 in the afternoon. We do have cold weather on the way, and we also have some warm weather. Now, the first 7 days that we've got, you know, when you look at them as a whole, it's going to be very mild, but there's some significant changes heading our way. I'm going to show you the newest data, and I've got a lot to show you. This is a bird's eye view on the northern hemisphere. So, do you see the United States? Here's the West Coast. Arkansas right here. There's Florida. There's the East Coast. This is the ensembles from the GFS, 500 millibar geopotential heights. So you're looking for the ridges. These are anomalies, by the way, where the ridges and the troughs and where they're located. So, and if you remember on a previous blog post, I told you that the flow was going to be coming off the Pacific for the most part, and from the southwest and from the west, and that was going to flood the country with mild air. You see it when you see troughing in this area. That pretty much shuts down the cold air supply, which comes in from north. What you want to see in this area of the world, in the eastern portions of the Pacific, from western Canada up through Alaska, you want to see a big ridge. Well, we don't have that. The January thaw is here. You see this ridge right here? On the previous blog video, I talked about that ridge would eventually go up towards the north and the west, and we're going to start to get some storms coming underneath that ridge of high pressure, rolling right underneath that into the central, south central United States. And lo and behold, look at what happens here. Now, this is Sunday morning. You can see that one storm that's coming through. I'm going to get more on that in just a little bit for Sunday. But watch what happens here. Remember, we want ridging, and over time, let's see, this is 7 days out. All right, so here's 7 days out, and there's the ridge now. This is the 26th, and you see a significant trough coming in. So goodbye, January thaw, day 8, day 9, day 10. I mean, look at that. The ridge is completely gone. I'm sorry, the trough is completely gone. There's the ridge. So what happens is all this cold air up here is pushed southward, and there's the trough right there. So ridge, trough. So you see the amplification taking place right there towards the end of the month. And so I'll go day 13, ridge, trough. Let's go day 16. Ridge is out here, but we'll see how that pans out. And then I also like to look at the 500, I'm sorry, not the 500. Let me back it up here. 850 millibars, temperatures, anomalies. So 850 millibar is about 5,000 feet. And when you see the red, brown, white blobs, that's temperatures above average at 5,000 feet. And where you see the green blobs, it's temperatures below average at 5,000 feet. So I like to look at this when I'm forecasting to see temperature advection, warm and cold air advection. But anyway, so this is 0 to 5 days, so you can see that this is from now through the 24th, very mild. That's the first 5. Now look at the next 5 days. So this is days 5 through 10. There's the warming taking place here, and look at the cold, or at least below average temperatures there, the anomalies overspreading much of the United States. Sorry about that. And then the 10 to 15, it is just, it's cold there, not only at 5,000 feet, but that'll translate down to the surface as well. So I just want to show you that we are going into a colder weather pattern here towards the end of the month. How cold, yet to be seen. Let me go to 500 millibars here. This is the new European, which is coming in. And I just want to show you, this is incredible. This is noon on the 22nd at 500 millibars, which is at about 20,000 feet. That is a strong and vigorous upper low. And if we had Arctic air around, maybe not even just Arctic air, some sort of modified Arctic air, something around, we'd be talking about a snowstorm, but the surface temperatures are just going to be way too warm for that. But boy, this could turn out to be some severe weather across the far southeastern United States. But this is just the way this is rolling in. Remember how I showed you that ridge up there, and the storms were going to track underneath and south of that? Well, there's one of them right there, and boy, that's just, I mean, what a waste. If we just had enough cold air. Anyway, so we go out further here, and then you see on the operational, this is the operational European. There's the ridge, there's the trough. It's going to turn colder. At the surface, let me refresh this because it's coming in right now. We'll get some new hours here. So through the weekend, there's the upper level low right here. This is at noon Sunday, what I was just showing you. And you see that 546 line. You tend to look for the 540 line. And it's possible that you're going to see a 540 line, a little circle pop up here. But this is a good illustration, too, that it's not necessary that you look for that 540 thickness line, that blue line, that solid blue line for your rain snow line. Let's say that all of a sudden one forms here. That does not mean it's going to snow. That's just one of the things we look at. The surface temperatures are just going to be too warm. Now, with that said, I think the models are too warm. They've got temperatures in the 50s and maybe in the 40s. But it's just kind of it's cold and rainy on Sunday. And then we warm back up, and here comes the front. Remember I told you that that cold was going to come from west to east? Well, there's the front. This is on Tuesday. It's going to be very mild on Tuesday, but the front's going to be back in here, even colder here, air coming in there. And there's that 540 line right there, south of the state. No moisture, surface high here. Cold air, instead of coming from the Pacific, is now coming out of Canada. And that just rolls on through next Friday, too. So let's see how those temperatures look. I'm going to do this on the fly. Temperature single. It's just a quick glance here. So on Tuesday, come on, there we go. Tuesday at noon, it's showing the near 70 degrees across southern Arkansas. So it's very mild ahead of the front, but you see all this cold air. And then that was Tuesday, so let's go Wednesday at noon. And there's the 55. It's got temperatures at noon instead of near 70 in south. It's in the 50s and then 40s across the north. So it looks like that transition is going to come next Tuesday, the 24th and then the 25th. And let's see, this is the morning of Thursday, the 26th. There's the 32-degree line. Noon temperatures in the 40s. So it's nothing drastically cold, but it does turn quite a bit colder. Here's Friday morning. Boy, look at all the single digits. Nothing really below zero except for out in the Rockies, but single digits, teens, and 20s. But the trend will be towards colder temperatures as we go into the longer range and into the middle to end of next week. We will say goodbye to these milder temperatures, which we'll have at least on Saturday, and then it'll turn cold on Sunday. Not cold, but cooler. And then on Monday, you're going to get another warm-up getting underway, and then on Tuesday, ahead of that front, we should warm up significantly and then drop back down, sort of a temperature roller coaster. But if you're wanting cold weather to come back, I really do see that happening. Now, you're asking, what about moisture? It's too early to say that, what if there's any moisture that gets involved with this, so just stay tuned. And thanks for coming to the Arkansas Weather Blog. We are your ticket to big weather events.